Hello guys and welcome to today's tropical update. It is July 3rd, 2020 and it is 3:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at the time of this recording. We're going to take a look at the Atlantic and Eastern Pacific. We're going to do a shorter update today because I know my last previous update was 25 minutes long. It's the longest update I've ever had. But yes, the Atlantic and Eastern Pacific. As far as the Atlantic side goes, we have nothing going on in the next 5 days. So this is certainly good news, but I do think that we're less than 5 days away from something popping up, and we'll take a look at that. Here's a look at the GFS here, and as you see, here's our big high pressure right here that is going to be steering these storms to the west, or tropical waves that are coming off of Africa here. These are going to be pushing west, but we also have this air and air layer that's still roaming around here. So, you know, once these get far enough to the west, they might be able to do something. But as for right now, none of the deep tropics is going to be doing anything. We're probably going to be looking closer to home though, as we're going to get a whole lot of rain here in Florida from a system that's coming down from the lower 48, and there you go, 10, 11, but it doesn't look like it does very much with it. Yeah. Doesn't look like much of anything is going on. Even in the 7-day time frame, it looks like the system that was forecast to come off might be taking us a little bit more time than anticipated here, so that might not do much of anything by the looks of it. However, you know, I'm sure you guys seen the radar, but there's a little something out here spinning up northeast of the Bahamas, and it has a nice decent spin to it, but it is hooked up to a frontal system. That is why it hasn't really done anything with it. I do not think it has a low level center yet, but it is trying to get one, and what it really needs to do is, you know, cut off the frontal system that is on right now, and, you know, become its own thing. I think that's really like what is prohibiting it of doing anything at the moment. Let's go to the GFS para here, and as you can see, we got tropical waves still coming off of Africa here on the GFS para. There's our high, and there's another high. So pretty much whatever, if the highs are not connected, it's a big alleyway for these things to really go to the north and east and ride the periphery of this high pressure this way. So let's go out and through time. You might be saying, no, there's something, but no, that's a frontal system. That's a frontal system. That's extra tropical, if anything. And as you can see, it's quick to move out. And going to 7-day time period, it doesn't look like anything else is happening here. We got waves coming off still, and we got this big bundle of energy right in here over the Bahamas and Florida here that's probably going to soak us with the rain here in the coming week. Alright, here is the European. And as you can see, here's the big dome of high pressure right here. This is the Azar Bermuda High. And there's a pretty big low pressure coming off of, that's still pretty far into Africa, that's going to be coming off. Though with this air and air layer, I don't expect this to do much of anything. So let's go out in the future here. There's a little something trying to pop off of the of the South North Carolina coast right there. Looks like it has a closed isotherm. Has a 12 millibar pressure here. You know what? We're gonna go out 2 more days just to see what happens. And this is 7 days out. It is definitely wanting to show something popping up here, a tropical system, so to speak. It's tropical or subtropical. It just depends on the if it's you know, connected to a front or looking like a frontal system on it. But this could be a tropical or subtropical system coming up in the next 7 days. And I will definitely be paying attention to this going forward as we do more updates, you know, going forward. Here is the Eastern Pacific. And as you can see, we still have 2 disturbances out here. This is where all the action is at right now at this current point in time. Here is disturbance 1, which I felt like this has been out here forever now. Like literally forever. Oh, you know, disorganized showers and a few thunderstorms continue in association with a broad area of low pressure located several hundred miles south of Manzanillo, Mexico. Some gradual development of this system is possible during the next few days while it moves west-northwestward at around 10 miles an hour. 48 hours is low 20%, 5 days low 30%. You know, if this was gonna do something, it probably would have already done it by now. As I said, this has been out here for a while, this disturbance, to be honest with you. So, I mean, it's had like, what, 5-6 days to try to do something? But it hasn't done anything yet. That's why I'm very skeptical. I can't even talk. I'm doubting. We're gonna use doubt. We're gonna use doubt. That this is gonna, you know, turn into anything. This, on the other hand, this has been blowing up like hotcakes, at least percentage-wise. And this disturbance hasn't been on the board that long, so I do think this may turn into something. This is an area of low pressure that is forecast to form south of the coast of southern Mexico in a couple of days. Environmental conditions are expected to be conducive for gradual development of the system during the early and middle portions of next week while it moves west-northwestward well south of the coast of southern Mexico. The formation chances of this is 48 hours is 0%, 5 days 40%. And now we're going to go look at the GFS, and I think this is our disturbance 1 here that's, you know, struggling to get anything going. And this blob right here is our disturbance 2. So let's go forward. The GFS tries to want to do something with disturbance 1, but it doesn't turn it into very much. We're gonna go 7 days out. There's 7 days. And look at that trifecta of storms in the Eastern Pacific. That's a tropical storm. That's probably a strong tropical depression. And this may be a tropical storm with no millibar pressure for some reason. I don't know why it doesn't have a millibar pressure, because that's definitely starting to become tight isotherms there. So we're just gonna have to wait and see if this GFS verifies, and we're gonna see if the partner GFS shows the same thing. So let's go look at that. Here is our disturbance number 1 right in here. You know, as you can see, it's a closed isotherm, though be a very elongated isotherm. And here's our disturbance number 2 here. So we're gonna go out. Yep, there we go. There's a disturbance 2 right there. And that's probably disturbance 1. The GFS Para wants to turn this into a tropical storm, and probably is going to turn this into a tropical storm. So let's go forward some more. Yep, disturbance 2 and disturbance 1 are definitely tropical storms according to the GFS Para. So there's that. And disturbance number 2, the GFS Para wants to take it into a hurricane. So that's interesting to see. Uh, that's still disturbance number 2, guys. This is 7 days out. There's a tropical storm and there's a hurricane, a very strong hurricane at that. Now this is past the 5-day time period. 7 days is still acceptable, but it's pushing it. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with these 2 systems here. So if any one of these forms, there will be more videos than normal coming your guys' way. So let's just say that. How about the European, the ECMWF? There is disturbance 1, and I'm assuming this is disturbance 2. We're in there. So, oh yeah, the European wants to take this probably to a hurricane 2 at 7 days out, and doesn't do anything with disturbance number 1 very much. Yeah, doesn't do too much with disturbance 1. Yeah, so the European and GFS pair want to take this to a hurricane for disturbance 2. That's exactly why I think that disturbance 2 has more of a chance to develop, because all 3 of these models are agreeing that this will become something. So, you know, maybe tomorrow's update we'll be looking at the CMC and the icons. But for right now, as long as there's nothing going on in the Atlantic, I'm going to be primarily focusing on the Eastern Pacific until something actually pops up in the Atlantic. So tomorrow's update will be Eastern Pacific focused. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching and have a nice rest of your evening.